Hello everybody, it's me, Riff Raff Hornhelm, and I'm back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault. And today, we have a monster review. And today we're going to take a look at a creature from the Fiend Folio, the original Fiend Folio. And that creature's name is the BLINDHEIM. Kind of weird sounding, right? Or you might say BLINDHEIM. Well, I guess it's up to you. So the BLINDHEIM. The BLINDHEIM, like I said, out of the Fiend Folio, which goes along with Dungeons and Dragons, and at the time this was released was during what is considered Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 1E, or First Edition rules. And the BLINDHEIM is a interesting creature. It's stronger than what you might think. It's 4+2 hit dice, and it's only about 4 foot tall. It only does 1 to 8 points of damage, and it'll do that with a bite. And normally its main attack mode is its eyes. Now, what I mean by that is under normal conditions, it has a, what do they call it, a nictating membrane that goes over the eye in stages. And if it opens them up fully, they shine a bright light. And that light can shine a distance 30 feet out, well, actually more than that, but anyone who's within 30 feet of it has to make a save versus wand, or they'll be blinded for 11 to 20 rounds. That's a long period of time. On top of that, if you're using infravision, you make your save at -3. Now, obviously, during that time, if you're blinded, it can run up and bite you or do whatever it's going to do to you. And your ability to attack it is going to be, well, shall we say, extremely limited. And of course, when you're blinded like this for your attack, well, like I said, you're not going to have much of a chance of doing anything, and you're going to have to live with its ability to beat the snot out of you. And while you can't see it, its effective armor class is 1. Now, normally its armor class is 3, so it's still a pretty good armor class for this. Fortunately for you, they only have animal intelligence. And though they are chaotic evil, the animal intelligence is going to work a lot in your favor. Now, this is not a large creature. It's considered a small creature. It's only about 4 feet tall. And it is a pale yellow overall in color. It's like darker yellow on the back and more pale on the belly and whatnot. Once again, if you get blinded by this thing and it's, 11 to 20, oh, wait, I may have said rounds. I believe it's actually turns. You're going to be stumbling around in the dark for quite some time if one of these flashes you. And that's going to make for a very, very difficult encounter. The best thing you have going for you is the fact that it has animal intelligence. And its only attack is its, as they say in the book, vicious bite for 1 to 8 points of damage. They are subterranean dwellers, which I think is pretty evident from its modus operandi. And as dwarves, of course, have we run into BLINDHEIMs before? Well, if you do as a wandering, they typically, I think, are 1 to 4, 1 to 6, something like that. And yes, some of my dwarven brethren have run into BLINDHEIM before, but they've always run into them in areas where they did not have to worry about the light because they were too far away. Under those circumstances, well, if you want to play Chase the Frog, I guess you can always do that. And since you know what's coming, it's a lot easier to deal with the bright light from their eyes. Having said that, they are a very rare encounter. I've certainly never encountered any of these. I understand they're more common in the mountain vastness and of the dwarvish kingdoms that are under the mountains of Europe. I don't know if that's true any or not, but that's what I've heard. So, of course, in the gaming world, what about BLINDHEIMs? And I went to the greater Hornhelm community and asked both the DMs and the players, hey, what about the BLINDHEIM? If you run into it, how would you rank it? Um, Unsurprisingly, this is not one that I ran into frequently. A couple of the DMs had used them before, found that they made a nice surprise attack, especially for lower level characters. But they almost said that they were too powerful because if they failed that wand save and were blinded, um, they were blinded for a very long period of time. Having said that, they said that, hey, it's a 4+2 hit dice creature, but ranking wise, they ranked it a 2.5 to a 3. I can't really disagree with that. I would put it in that same range. I have used them before, and it happened to be against a party that was more powerful, and they kind of made fairly short work of them. Um, Certainly, in talking to the players out there about it that had run into them, they said it was more about a 3 to 3.5. I was kind of surprised to hear that, but I guess being on the receiving end of that, if that's a surprise, can make for a very uncomfortable time for your character, especially if they're trying to survive while these things are trying to rip out their throats or whatever. Makes sense. So, not a super powerful character, and one that I believe has now been lost in the passage of time, but still one that's interesting to use, especially if you're trying to throw something out there that your players may have not seen before. And when you're doing a lot of subterranean adventures, that list starts to get very short after a while in terms of the ones that your characters haven't run into. So it's something to consider. Fiendfolio stuff tends to be, I don't want to say forgotten, but set more aside as time has gone on. So an interesting character, one for you to try, and one to be aware of if you're in a subterranean setting. That, my friends, is the BLINDHEIM, or BLINDHEIM, whatever you want to say. We hope you found today's presentation to be interesting, educational, amusing, all that kind of good stuff. If you did, please be so kind as to leave us a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Definitely drop us a line. Share with your friends. But most of all, come back and see us again soon. We thank you so much for your very kind support. Take care, everyone. And remember, dwarves rock!